What's up, Dr. Dell here, Chief Innovation Officer of the International Economic Development Council. Become a member today. You will not regret it. All your economic development information and needs. So, 12 days of AI for EDOs, where for starting the 13th today, I'm going to do 12 days of overviews of different AI uses and different tools. And it's going to be super exciting for those of you who've never really engaged in AI or watched a lot of the videos that I've had before. So, in many ways, it's kind of a primer. So, if you've seen a lot of my stuff before, been using it a lot, it may not be that of value for you. But today, we are going to kick it off, and rightfully so, by the godfather of general use public AI, ChatGPT. ChatGPT, and I call it the king of multimodality. What do I mean by that? ChatGPT still to this day is the best artificial AI tool for public use that can do the most things within one particular platform. And we're going to show you just a few of these today, short video, then we'll get ready for the day two. So I got my screen up, ChatGPT. Let me make it bigger for you. This is the general front end of ChatGPT. Most of you have seen it by now. If you haven't seen it before, this is what it looks like. So over here you have a column, you have custom GPTs at the top, which I'm going to show you in a later day. But these are all of the chats. And so I have all of the chats. One of the new things for those of you who watched the video but haven't been keeping up with what's been going on with ChatGPT is they added a search function. Something as simple as that. You can come in, you can look at the search, you can do a new chat, data visualization, a lot of the other things, that I've already looked at. You can just immediately pull it up. So that's a basic functionality. But for most of you who've done, use AI now, you know that it's a prompt-based situation. So you have your little messaging in here where you can prompt it to do it, and you can ask it all kinds of things. For example, give me a recipe for beef jerky. It'll prompt it and it'll give you a recipe for beef jerky. And we take this for granted now, but before, if you remember, you would have to search all through the internet. I could ask it for different recipes. I could ask it for similar types of recipes or unique ways to make it, all kinds of different kind of things. But let's start talking about the multimodality. And this is what makes ChatGPT still a cut above the rest. And so let's say I really like this recipe for beef jerky. I would simply do something like, oh, I want to keep this one on file. So I would say export this to Word. So the ability for it to export the chats into different file formats is what makes ChatGPT still probably my number one used AI tool, even though there's others I like better. And so as it goes through that, it analyzes it, it will come in and will export it into a Word. You can download it, all of those cool things. I've showed you some of that before. But I can, let's say I do some data analysis, I can export that into Excel. I can export it into a PDF. I believe you can export it into PowerPoint. Now, what I have noticed is that the exports in the PDF and PowerPoint are not that great. But as you can see now, it does it. All I do is hit click, and it will pop up the box, which you can't see because I'm just sharing a particular screen. And I could download that, and I will have that on my files. So that's multimodality point number one for ChatGPT. Simple prompt-based system. You can ask it questions. It can help you write. It can help you discover different things. It can help you learn. It can help you train you. All those different kind of things that AI can do. Now, what ChatGPT can also do with its function is search the web. So with this web search function, and these are actually new little boxes now. They just updated it. Wasn't there before. I could search a particular website. So let's say in this scenario, www. I am Dell Gines. What is this site about? Let me go scroll down, and then it will kind of explore my personal website, and it popped everything up and started, you know, sharing what was on that site. Or I could go the other way around and say, search the web for Dell Gines. And let's see what it shows up. So, okay, well, I mean, it's doing a pretty good job. It gives you opportunities for different responses. It's kind of summarizing what it is, summarizing the citations of it. University of Nebraska, Lincoln, Federal Reserve, all of those different kind of things. So it's now citing sources too. So you can see you can go both ways with it. You can kind of ask it questions about a particular site. You can actually do a web-based search for whatever it is that you want, which is a fairly you can do web-based searches before, but the citation of the sources in this way and kind of the aggregation of it is new and it's actually a little bit better. So export function, web-based search. I'm going to show you some of the other things later, so like Canvas and the custom GPTs, which I talked about. So we're going to chill with that for now. But what else can I do with it that I want to talk about today? Oops, sorry. I can make a picture. And while there's other tools out there now, which they say make better pictures, and I agree, I still feel because the efficiency of this actually being in ChatGPT and that you can do it within the context of the other things that you may be doing at the same time, it still makes it a reasonable image creator. So here, create a logo for Dr. Dell Gines AI for EDOs. So let's see what it comes up with this logo. And so for things like before you have to have an editor, you have to go to Fiverr, you have to pay a designer. Now let's say that you wanted to play around with some logos or some other pictures for like PowerPoints or other things. You can do that in here. Now still I'm noticing is it's better, but still is having problems with the words. So you got to be careful about that. Like it doesn't do a good job of translating into text, but by and large, it still is doing a reasonable job of just the images. And I can change it for different images and ask it to do different things. You know how you can do to manipulate it. And so the ability to do pictures is another form of multimodality, which makes it a really good thing. But what I can also do, and I don't know if most people know this, is I'm going to copy this image just because it's present. You can do it in reverse. So let's say you want to have an image that you wanted to kind of look at and describe. I could come in, I just cut and pasted it and said, describe this image. And it can actually do a reverse description now, looking at it and describe what that image is. It's a professional logo. Now, one of the ways that I use this for a practical purpose, and I did it last week for one of our meetings, is we had groups of people doing flip charts, and they were all writing, and we had breakout sessions, and they were writing ideas on flip charts. I took a picture of each of those flip charts. I uploaded it and I asked it to pull the text from the flip charts and actually, put it in a list for me. And then I exported it so that I would have that list saved. So those are just a few reasons, and it can do so much more, but those are kind of like some of the headline reasons as to why I still feel that ChatGPT is probably at this point the king of general use artificial intelligence. For just the everyday use for business, general business purposes, it still is my go-to AI, even though there's others that I like better for other things. So if you use ChatGPT, let me know what you think. Let me know what your favorite feature is of it. And with that, day 1 of 12 days of AI for EDOs is done. We will kick off day 2 next.